Hi guys, welcome to the Combate show, and today we'll be predicting and analyzing the great fights in UFC 249. The great fights I'm going to be talking about is the top 3 fights in the main event, which will be Francis Ngannou versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik, which is a really hard fight to predict. We also got Dominic Cruz versus Henry Cejudo. I met both of them, so I'm really excited and pumped for this fight, and it's a great fight because Dominic Cruz is just returning against a fighter who's been destroying everyone in his path, Henry Cejudo. And in the main event, as we all know, since Khabib couldn't get in, we have Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson. I'm excited for that one too. We're going to analyze these fights and see what we're going to talk about. Welcome to the Combate show, and this is Ismail Kirim Jam, and here we go. Before I try to make a prediction between Francis Ngannou and Jairzinho Rozenstruik, I'll be analyzing their last 3 fights and talking about them because I took some notes of this because this is going to be epic. So Francis Ngannou, he lost to Stipe Miocic. Everyone was talking about his knockout versus Alistair Overeem, which he knocked him out in a crazy way with a devastating uppercut. After that, he was the favorite against Stipe Miocic. However, he could not beat Stipe Miocic because Stipe Miocic, the champion, was really good at his ground game and fought really smart. And then he had the boring fight, which no one expected it to be boring, versus Derek Lewis. And he ended up losing by decision. It was close, but it wasn't the fight we're used to seeing Francis Ngannou knocking out people. He didn't look like he was that good in the fight. After that, he had a 3-fight win streak. It was crazy. He beat Curtis Blades, Cain Velasquez, and Junior Dos Santos. But I don't know if you guys know, but Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos are 2 former champions. So maybe Francis Ngannou never got the title, but he beat 2 former champions, Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos. And he knocked them out cold in the first round, which is absolutely crazy. On the other hand, Jairzinho Rozenstruik has been in incredible form. He won all of his matches in the UFC by knockout. I don't care if his debut, he won it. And then he just beat everyone in his path. His previous 3 fights are Alan Crowder KOing him, Arvelovsky KO'd Arvelovsky, and Arvelovsky was one of the best in the past. And he KO'd Overeem. Even though Francis Ngannou versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik is a really extremely hard fight to predict, I'm going to go with Francis Ngannou with this one. The reason is both of them has crazy knockout power. However, Francis Ngannou has the upper hand in experience. He has more experience in the UFC and fought wrestlers, strikers, and lots of fighters with different styles. However, Jairzinho Rozenstruik is not anyone to take. Like, you always have to take Jairzinho Rozenstruik seriously. However, Francis Ngannou got the experience, and I believe he will knock out Jairzinho Rozenstruik in the 2nd round. The next fight I'll be talking about is Henry Cejudo, Triple C, known as Triple C, will fight Dominic Cruz. I believe this is an epic fight. Like, if Dominic Cruz's form is awesome and he's ready to go, this fight will be one for the ages. But I'm going to talk about who I think is going to win later. But before I talk about that, I'll be talking about how Henry Cejudo became Triple C. How did he become Triple C? He already had the Olympic title, but he came to the UFC, and then a few fights later, he had a fight versus Wilson Reis. Wilson Reis was a Brazilian grappler who's he's a good grappler. However, he wasn't one of the best strikers. Henry Cejudo didn't have that many knockouts in the time, but he knocked out Wilson Reis, which was really cool. And he got one of his first knockouts in his career. After that, a few fights later, he had a chance versus Demetrius Johnson. I don't know if you guys know, but in their first fight, he lost to Demetrius Johnson with a knee to the tummy. After that, he had a second chance versus Demetrius Johnson. When he beat Demetrius Johnson by unanimous decision, he won the flyweight title, which is absolutely crazy. Because he beat one of the GOATs of the flyweight division, and the GOAT, because no one had the title before Demetrius Johnson in UFC flyweight division. Something interesting I want to share with you guys is when I asked and interviewed Henry Cejudo and asked him, what was the hardest fight in your career? He said me, and I was like, not even Demetrius Johnson, that was a hard fight, no? And he was like, me. So in Triple C's head, he believes that he never had a hard fight in his career. So maybe that can tell us something about Henry Cejudo's condition.
Next question. Who gave you the hardest fight in your entire career?
Me.
No one gave you a hard fight?
Me.
Not even Demetrius Johnson?
Me, not even me.
Damn, okay, that's...
What's the next?
The time Henry Cejudo started to become a fan favorite is when he beat TJ Dillashaw by knockout in the first round. They're trying to give TJ Dillashaw a title shot. He went 10 pounds down to flyweight and tried to fight Henry Cejudo for Henry Cejudo's title at the time. And Henry Cejudo, when he knocked him out in the first round, Henry Cejudo started to become a fan favorite in the UFC. Cejudo's most previous fight was versus Marlon Moraes. People thought Marlon Moraes could knock out Henry Cejudo because his knockout power and his Muay Thai skills were really good, and still are very good. However, Henry Cejudo proved them doubters wrong, and he mixed his grappling with his striking, which gave him the nod in his UFC match versus Marlon Moraes. After that, he became Triple C. Why? Because he has the flyweight title, the bantamweight title, and the Olympic championship, the Olympics. He won the Olympics, got a gold medal in wrestling. Now we're going to talk about Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz beat TJ Dillashaw by decision, beat Uribe Faber by decision, and unfortunately lost his last fight in the UFC versus Cody Garbrandt. And he lost that by decision. He lost his championship by decision. Now we come to predicting this fight. I believe Henry Cejudo will beat Dominic Cruz. The reason is because Henry Cejudo has had more fights in the previous years and has been on a tear. He's destroying everyone in his path, and he's going to beat Dominic Cruz. Honestly, I like both fighters. However, I believe Henry Cejudo... Let me predict the round right now. So, Henry Cejudo will use his wrestling, I believe, to beat Dominic Cruz. Will keep ground and pounding him. Could end in a... I have no idea what round. Like, I'll just say third or fourth round by TKO. And now here comes the main event. Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. I'm guessing the winner faces Khabib. It's unfortunate Tony was never able to fight Khabib, but I believe the winner will face Khabib. So, Justin Gaethje, he's been on a tear. Tony Ferguson, he's been on a tear. They've been destroying everyone in their past. Who's going to win? If you ask me, Justin Gaethje is going to knock out Tony Ferguson. You heard that right. All of you believe Tony Ferguson will beat Justin Gaethje. But in my opinion, Justin Gaethje will win. And by the way, if Justin Gaethje wins, and you don't believe that I said this before the match, please check the date in this YouTube video. Why do I believe Justin Gaethje will win? Bro, his striking is really good. He like goes through wars, and he also has wrestling. He knows how to wrestle. Tony Ferguson knows jiu-jitsu. He just has to be careful not to be caught when Tony's on his back. But I believe Justin Gaethje will like win by knockout. I'm gonna guess the second or third round. Justin Gaethje, I believe in you. I believe you're gonna win this fight. I called it. Let's see. Let's hope it happens. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I ain't got that many subscribers, so I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe and help me grow this channel. Thank you for watching, and hope you guys are all safe at home, and hope you guys all enjoy the fights, which will take place in Jacksonville, Florida. Bye-bye from the Combate Show.